Hello students, today in this video we are going to talk about the another kind of animal tissue, which is connective tissues. In the previous videos we had talked about the muscular tissue and nervous tissue and epithelial tissues. Today we will talk about connective tissues found in the animals. So this is the tissue which connect and bind the different tissues and organs in the body. From the name itself you can understand this tissue is responsible to connect and bind the other tissues in the body. Okay, hence it provides a structural framework and mechanical support to the body. Now, connective tissue is composed of two basic components. First is the cells which are found there, and the second one is extracellular matrix. Cells are found embedded in the matrix, and matrix consists of protein fibers, and the matrix can be jelly-like, or it can be fluid, or it can be dense or rigid. And the nature of matrix differs in accordance with the function of particular connective tissue. The matrix in the connective tissues can be of different types. It can be like jelly or fluid, or it can be rigid, hard. And this matrix, the matrix can be jelly-like or fluid or dense. It depends on the function of that particular connective tissue. So like in blood, the blood is the fluid connective tissue. The function of blood is to transport the substances from one part of the body to another part. So as you know, the blood circulates. So in the blood, the matrix is fluid. Okay. As you know, our bone is the connective tissue, and you know the bone is very hard and rigid. So the matrix which is present in the bone, it is hard and rigid. Okay. So the nature of matrix depends on the function of that particular connective tissue. But you have to remember, the connective tissue is made up of two basic components. Okay. The first one is the cells, which are the functional unit of that tissue, and the extracellular matrix in which the cells are found. Now, connective tissues are of following types. Okay, the first one is fluid connective tissue, that includes blood and lymph, in which the matrix is in the form of fluid, it flows. Second one is skeletal tissue, and this connective tissue include cartilage and bone. Okay, and third one is fibrous connective tissue. It includes tendon and ligament. Tendon and ligament. The fourth type of connective tissue is called as areolar connective tissue, which is the most common kind of connective tissue found in the body of animals. And the fifth one is adipose tissue, that store the fats. So these are the five main kind of connective tissues found in the animal's body: fluid connective tissue, skeletal tissue, fibrous connective tissue, areolar connective tissue, and adipose tissue. So the fibrous, areolar and adipose connective tissue are together called connective tissue proper. The fibrous, areolar and adipose connective tissue, they are collectively called as connective tissue proper. So here in this video we will talk about the fluid connective tissue first, and we will discuss about the blood and lymph. So let's talk about the fluid connective tissue. Fluid connective tissue is also called as vascular tissue. Why? Because it circulates in the body and help in the transportation of materials from one part of the body to another part. So fluid connective tissue is called vascular tissue because it circulates in the body and its main function is to transport the materials from one part of the body to another part. So because it circulates in the body, that's why it is called as vascular tissue, and it includes blood and lymph. There are two kinds of fluid connective tissue found in the animal's body. The first one is blood and the second one is lymph. So one by one we will talk about the blood and the lymph. So we will talk about the blood. What is blood? Blood is the fluid connective tissue. Okay, this is a kind of fluid connective tissue, and as you know, the connective tissue has two components. First one is cell and another one is matrix. So in case of blood, there is a matrix which is known as plasma. Okay, and the cells which are found in the blood, that is called blood cells, or they are also called as blood corpuscles. Okay, the matrix of the blood is plasma and the cells are called blood cells or blood corpuscles. So this plasma, which is the matrix of the fluid connective tissue of blood, is in the form of fluid, and that's why this blood is known as fluid connective tissue, because the matrix which is present into the blood, that matrix is in the form of fluid. Hence it can flow and it can transport and circulate the materials in the body. So we will talk about the plasma first of all. What is this? This is the matrix of the blood and it is in the form of fluid. So it is the straw colored fluid which contains water in the maximum amount, then inorganic salts and some other organic compounds like proteins and hormones. So plasma is in the form of fluid and the color of that fluid is straw colored, and maximum it contains water in it, and rest of the materials like inorganic salts and organic compounds are mixed into the water. And in this plasma the blood cells are found floating. Now we will talk about the blood cells which are present into the blood. So there are three types of blood cells found in the blood. First one is red blood cells or RBCs, which is also known as erythrocytes. Second one is white blood cells, WBCs, which are also known as leukocytes. And third one is platelets, which are also called as thrombocytes. So there are three kinds of blood cells or blood corpuscles found in the blood. So we will talk about these blood cells in detail. So let's see the blood corpuscles in a comparative view. So red blood cells are oval and biconcave in case of human body, and they are non-nucleated. The mature RBC in the human has no nucleus, and the characteristic feature of RBC red blood cell is they have oxygen carrying pigment called hemoglobin, which is red in color, and that's why these cells are called red blood cells, because of the presence of the red pigment known as hemoglobin, which is actually a oxygen carrying pigment which carry the oxygen. It also carry the carbon dioxide gas also in the body. And these are the cells which cannot divide, which cannot multiply, because they do not have nucleus. So they are formed into the bone marrow. The precursor cell of the red blood cells are found in the bone marrow From there, these red blood cells are produced. So next blood cell is called as white blood cells, leukocytes. These are colorless, means they do not have any pigment. They are nucleated, they have nucleus, and they are amoeboid cells, means they show the movement like amoeba. That's why they are called as amoeboid cells. They are of two types, phagocytes and immunocytes, and their function is to defend the body from infections. The cells which are found in the blood, which are called white blood cells, they are of mainly two types, phagocytes and immunocytes. Further, phagocytes are of three types and immunocytes are of two types. So collectively there are 5 kinds of white blood cells are found in the blood, and all the cells which are found in the white blood cells, they are specially designed to defend the body from infections. They are phagocytic in nature, and they, whatever the foreign unwanted materials get into the blood, they kill that foreign materials or any germs when enter in our body. They kill the germs and they defend our body from the infections. So they are called soldiers of the body. White blood cells are called the soldiers of the body, because if any germs or unwanted or foreign material enter into our blood, so these cells, white blood cells, they engulf these foreign materials and germs, and so that they protect our body from the infections. Now the platelets, they are very important for our body. The cells are irregular in shape and they are highly contractile, and what do? They help in clotting of blood in the site of injury to a blood vessel to prevent the loss of blood. Whenever any injury happens in the blood vessels, so the blood get lost from that blood vessel. So to stop that bleeding, what happens there? The platelets come together at the time at the site of injury, and they stick together and make a clot, make a blockage. They make a blockage and clot at the site of injury, and hence they stop the bleeding. So this phenomenon is known as blood clotting. This is called blood clotting. So platelets are mainly responsible for the blood clotting, so that they can stop the bleeding, so that they can stop the blood loss at the time of injury. So these are the cells found in the blood, which are red blood cells, white blood cells and platelets, and they all are very important. They have their own function. The red blood cell is responsible to carry the oxygen and carbon dioxide. White blood cells are responsible for the defense mechanism in the body. Platelets are responsible to stop the bleeding at the time of injury of blood vessels. So this is about the blood cells. One thing has to remember, that these all blood cells, white blood cells, red blood cells and platelets, they do not divide, they do not multiply, means they cannot produce the new cells by themselves. So these cells are produced in the bone marrow of the bones. The substance which is present in the bone, that is called bone marrow, and these cells are produced from the bone marrow of the bones of animal body, and that's why these cells have their definite lifespan. Like red blood cells live about 120 days, and white blood cells live for 1 to 4 days, and platelets live for 3 to 7 days. So they have their definite lifespan. After that they get destroyed, and new cells regularly formed in the bone marrow of the bones. Now, what are the main functions of the blood? So, the few main function of the blood is to transport oxygen and carbon dioxide to different part of the body from the lungs and from the organs to the lungs and from the lungs to the organs. Okay, the oxygen is carried from the lungs to different body parts, and the carbon dioxide is carried from different body parts to the lungs. So this is done by the red blood cells and the plasma in the blood. Now the blood carry food nutrients, whatever the food is digested in our digestive system, they convert into the nutrients, and that nutrients are transported with the help of the blood into the whole body. Now the blood carries excretory waste product. It carries the excretory waste product to the kidney for the removal. As you know, the kidney is the main excretory organ of our body, and whatever the excretory product are produced in different kind of cells, they all that all excretory products are carried by the blood to the kidney so that it can be removed from the body. Now blood also help in maintaining the body temperature. As you know, in animals, especially in human beings and in mammals and in the birds, there is a constant body temperature, and that constant body temperature is maintained by the blood in the animal's body. So these are the few main functions of the blood, which is the fluid connective tissue. Now we will talk about the another kind of fluid connective tissue, that is lymph. So what is lymph? Lymph is nothing but a transparent light yellow fluid flow in the definite lymph vessels. Like if you take out the red blood cells from the blood, so whatever the fluid which will be left out, that is actually the lymph. You can say the blood without red blood cells. You can call it as a lymph, the blood without red blood cells. Okay, so lymph is having the constituent similar to the blood, but what is the difference? The difference is it has no red blood cells. Okay, red blood cells are absent in the lymph. Rest of the things which were found in the blood, they are present in the lymph. Now it contains more WBCs than the blood has, and lymph is present in the intercellular spaces, hence it is called tissue fluid. Okay, it is found around the tissues, that's why it is also called tissue fluid. Now we will talk about the function of the lymph. It transports the nutrients which have filtered out of the blood capillaries back into the heart to be recirculated in the body. It also help in the transportation of the nutrients. So simply you can say, and the WBCs of the lymph act as phagocytes and eat any foreign elements and provide protection against infection. As you know, the lymph contains white blood cells, and white blood cells, what do? They eat all the foreign, unwanted, unnecessary, harmful elements and germs to protect our body from the infections. So this is the main function: transportation and defense mechanism. Now in the lymph, here the matrix is also a fluid which is similar to the plasma, just like in the blood, and the cells, mostly the cells which are present in the lymph, they are white blood cells. So this is all about the lymph. Lymph is also a vascular tissue because it circulates in our body. It also circulates between the tissues, and hence it transports the material from one part of the body to another part. So here in this video we had discussed about the fluid connective tissue, which are blood and lymph. Both the tissues are collectively called as vascular tissue because they circulates in the body and help in the transportation, as well as they also help in the defense of the body against any infection. So this is all about this video. Thank you.